This is where we figure out, you put this amount of money into your account, how much money do you end up with at the end of how many years? Okay, so they give you this annual interest formula. We're going to ignore this formula. Okay. Instead, we're going to use the one that you'll see on the back side when we get to it. It's the same thing. This only works when we're doing it every year. Okay, when we're compounding every year. The one that I'm going to give you on the back is for if we compound quarterly or compound monthly. Okay, we can do it for everything. So you'll notice it looks almost identical. P sub n equals P sub 0 times 1 plus I divided by K. Okay, so that's your change here. I is divided by K. And then over here, K times N. Okay, so all we've done is we've added this variable K. K represents the number of times.
Is that KW?
KN. KN.
Don't worry about it.
Number of times compounded in a year. Okay, so think about it. If I'm compounding annually, how many times is that happening in a year? Once. Is it going to change anything if I divide by 1?
No.
No. Is it going to change anything if I multiply by 1?
No.
No. That's why they give you this equation. Okay, because it doesn't make a difference when we're doing annual compounding. However, I want you to get into the habit of dividing, okay, and multiplying. Because once we get into it happens every month, you want to be in that routine. Okay. So we just have a bunch of examples, and we're finished for today.
It's a taser.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Okay. All right. Suppose you invest $367.51 into an account that pays an annual interest rate of 4.5% a year, and you let the money grow. How much money will there be in the account at the end of 7 years? So we're going to set this up. P sub n. What goes in for P sub 0?
P sub 0.
That's your initial amount.
367.
$367.51. I'm putting in $367.51 into my account. 1 plus. Why are we adding? Why is it 1 plus?
Because it's growing.
It's growing. Okay. Fantastic. Okay. I is your annual interest rate, 4.5%. As a decimal needs to go into here. 0.045. Okay, so 0.045 divided by, it's happening annually. So 1 raised to the 1 times, how many years is this happening? 7. We want to know the investment at the end of 7 years. That's it. Plug it in and give me an answer.
Hey, interruption. Do you have one email?
I do.
Could you send me to the main office to sign out, please?
Sure.
Thank you.
Bye, my friend. Would you like a formula sheet before you leave?
So are we not having a fourth period?
We are not having fourth period.
Therefore, no progress reports.
Therefore, your progress reports are not going out till Monday.
Yes.
But unfortunately, they've already been printed, so you're still going to eat whatever grade is on it.
Hey. At least. No.
There you go, my friend. Have a lovely weekend. Hopefully, I will see you Monday as long as it decides not to snow all weekend long.
It better snow.
Okay. How much money is in my account?
Some.
You said 500 and what? $500.13. Okay. You don't even have to plug in anything for Part B. How much money is in the account after 7.5 years? Your answer is going to be exactly the same.
I said don't change because.
Oh, because it only goes every year.
It's happening every year. We don't care half a year. So this is also going to be $500.13. Okay. It's not going to change because it's 7.5 years. Because it only happens every year.
That wasn't a tricky question.
Yeah, trick question. I like them. I like them.
I hate them.
You hate them?
Yeah.
If you actually plug it in with 7.5, it's still going to give you the same answer. It won't change it. Am I positive? Suppose you invest $600 into an account that pays an annual interest rate of 6.5% a year. After 10 years, how much money is accumulated into your savings account? So P sub N equals 600 times 1 plus
0.065.
0.065 every year. So it's a 1 and 1 times 10. Just so you all know, if you put money into a savings account, your interest rate is nowhere near this. It's like 0.1% annual interest.
Is it a CD?
So you gotta leave it alone.
Like,
All time.
CD, you can get a little bit higher. You have to really look into your accounts. We actually took some money and invested it. And I think we're looking at
Do you know about
3%.
higher or do you know about Bitcoin?
No, 3% period.
Bitcoin. Dude, that's
I know it's money, but I don't know what
like you can use it electronically, but you can't spend them in like
A what?
restaurants and stuff like Bitcoin.
people been making money off that.
Wait, what is it?
Oh yeah, there's a dude that's 18
Oh, my currency rate.
Bitcoin millionaire.
Wait, what's Bitcoin?
Do you know there's an app out there that you get paid to take selfies?
It's like okay, it's like
For
it's
real?
like
I'm
gold-
gonna do
it's
that.
like
I'm gonna take
gold.
things.
You have to take them in certain spots.
This
No,
big.
like you have to take them like one of them's like
Bitcoin
take a
fees,
selfie in
or
an
you
apple
can actually
orchard.
upload it electronically.
Like you have to take it in
and
certain
transaction
places.
online.
Oh yeah.
Because then they use it for advertising.
Most people use them for like.
For real, I want to be my face on the advertising to be like,
Most
Okay.
places don't accept.
How much money is in my account after 10 years?
that's up.
You make an investment out of
Good.
it.
11, 26, 28. Woo. $1,126.28.
I was so confused, your number going up and down.
That's because I wasn't paying attention when I was writing. How much additional money would you gain by leaving it in the account for 1 more year?
Don't you have to know?
So what do I have to do to answer this question?
Double that amount.
First off, I have to do this with 11.
Just double.
Yeah.
No, you don't double the total.
No, you just add an
Why
extra
would you
year,
double
so
your
17
total?
will be
You're not getting that.
Okay.
That's extra.
So we have to figure out how much money we have after 11 years. So we need to do the same equation, but raise it to the 11th power. What? 1199.49. Look at the question. How much additional money? So what do I now have to do? This is not my answer. I'm
Subtract.
subtract these two. So 1126.28. How much additional money have we gained? Sorry, Phoebe, I'm trying to say it anyway. Okay. $73.21 we have gained. Over a year.
Are we done?
With that problem, yes.
We still got the rest of this sheet and other sheets up. What?
It's all the same formula though. We're not gonna change the formula today.
Oh,
This
no,
is it.
I was just saying.
Yeah, this is it. This is the only new concept you have left to learn. You invest $3,420 in an account paying 7.5% annual interest. Suppose in 5 years, the annual interest rate will drop to 5.5% and you keep the money in the account for an additional 3 more years. How much money do you have at the account at the end of an 8-year period?
So you gotta raise it to the 8.
We have to do this. We have to do this in 2 different pieces.
Oh, Lord.
Okay. Because
7.5.
what happens?
5 years.
My interest rate changes. Okay, so I have to do it with 5 years at this rate and then the extra 3 at that rate. So we're going to deal with 2 different equations and then add them together. So I've got $3,420 invested.
34.
1 plus. My first annual interest rate is 0.075. And I'm doing this for 5 years. Okay. That takes care of the first 5 years.
Right.
How much money do we gain after the first 5 years? Good. $4,909.85. Okay. Now
Oh, 3 years.
we're doing an annual interest rate at 5.5. What's my initial value?
49.
Remember, 5 years have gone by. This is now in my account. So this now becomes my initial account, my initial amount here, $4,909.85, because we haven't moved anything from the account. So after 5 years, we're sitting here. So that is now my base amount. 1 plus, we're looking at 0.055. And 1 times, we're doing it for 3 more additional years. How much money is in my account now? The what? Did you put the new? You put the original. That's what I was like. Good. $5,765.35. Part B says, how much money did you lose out on in the last 3 years of your account? Okay, so what is this saying to me? Okay, so they're saying, what if this never changed? What if we stayed with this original amount the entire time? So we have to figure that out first. So, whoops, that should be 20. So we're going back to see what would happen if we wouldn't have changed percentages. 3,420. So I want my original rate of 7.5%. And I want this to happen over the entire course of the 8 years. So how much money should we have gotten if my rate didn't change after those 5 years? Can I show you a fancy trick too?
Go ahead.
Okay. So, I know you're super excited. So, if you would plug this in, so it was what? 3,420 times 1 plus 0.075 divided by 1, close it, raised to the 1, huh?
You just go ahead and just raise it to the 8.
You can. 1 times 8. Okay, so here's your answer. Let's say I wanted to go back and I wanted to raise it to the 1 times 5 instead. If you hit second, enter, everything that you just plugged in comes right back up, and all you have to do is go through and change.
And you just,
instead of re-entering it in over and over and over again.
You just have to say.
You can just go back and change stuff.
You could have said this in the Matrix chapter.
I love you all.
No, you don't. You could have said this in the Matrix chapter.
Okay.
You know.
So, new trick.
Yeah.
Don't kill me.
We
Okay,
will.
so we're at $6,099.49, and they want to know how much money you lost out on. So you said we had to do what, Ethan? Subtract the two. So you lost out on $334.14. No offense, that ain't chump change. It's not a lot, but
I need it.
honey, I will take it.
That's
I
chump
don't
change
care
for
if it's
me.
$5.
I don't have my food up.
You can give me it.
I tear $100 bill up. Cause I got money. I'm fine.
Yeah, did you end up finding that?
If you tear it up, I will pick it up and glue it back together, tape it back together, whatever I gotta do to spend it. You go right ahead, sweetheart. 'Cause I will take
You
it.
don't have to get cheeseburgers.
Hey, listen, did you ever got to buy
No,
the
get
Xbox?
chicken wraps and buy from
It came yesterday.
Chick-fil-A.
Okay, you invest $4,000 in an account paying 6% annual interest. Suppose in 6 years, the annual interest rate will drop to take out $1,500 and leave the leftover money for another 4 years. How much money do you have in the account at the end of a 10-year period? Okay, so 4,000 times 1 plus 0.06 divided by 1 raised to the 1 times 6.
Balls? Somebody need to fix that car.
So,
Why you joke?
Okay, so how much money do we make after 6 years?
a lot of money.
18 minutes. Then we go to lunch. I go eat some lunch.
It's got 15 minutes.
56.74 is what I got to. 0.08. Okay, now what's happening? We've done 6 years. Now what's happening?
10 years.
Mm-mm,
Wait, no.
we're not done yet.
You take out.
We're taking out 1,500. So guess what? I now need to subtract 1,500 from here. What does that give me? I've done a withdrawal. So you should have 4,174.08. Okay. So now that money's staying in for another 4 years. So this amount times 1 plus, my rate hasn't changed. And we're doing it for another additional 4 years. Okay, so take that answer times the rate all over again.
What is that, 6?
It's 1 times 4, right?
Yes. Okay. Raised to the 1 times 4. $5,269.68. Part B says, how much money would you have had if you did not take out that $1,500? Okay, so all we're doing is going back and using this original equation, except we just want straight up 10 years. So 4,000 times 1 plus 0.06 raised to the 1 times 10. Okay, so all we're doing is doing it without the withdrawal. $7,163.39. Now we're going to withdraw that 1,500. And you should have had $5,663.39. So we would have had a little bit more money if we would not have taken it out at 6 years, if we would have waited until the 10 years.
I'll take it.
Okay, so you make more money if you just take that money, stick it in an account, and leave it there.
I don't do that.
Don't let it burn your pocket.
Okay,
Everybody hold it in my pocket. I'm
The
telling
longer you can leave it, just accumulate and accumulate and accumulate, the more money you end up with at the end.
Man, I put money in the bank.
I know.
Honestly, I've put money into a savings account that is not linked to my debit card. I have no access to it. Unless I physically go into the bank.
How long ago?
Do you know how many times I go into the bank?
Never.
Never.
Zero.
So I don't touch that
The
money.
direct
Can I go to the
deposit.
people?
Okay, so,
Miss Smith. Steph, I have a question.
Huh?
Steph,
I'll wait.
so here's that equation that we just did. So now we need to do compounded quarterly. What does my equation look like if I'm compounding quarterly?
no.
Progress report.
No.
What does my equation look like? What's my initial amount here? Well, actually, back up. Quarterly compound interest. Transitions occur when? Every what month if I'm compounding quarterly?
4,
Mm,
3.
3 months. It's compounding quarterly, but it's happening every 3 months. If it's happening 4 times a year, which is every 3 months.
That's not the bail.
No, that's not us.
That's not us.
So it's
It is not
They're
us.
trolls.
Sit down.
Come on, man.
You got 10 minutes.
Okay, think about it. You have 12 months, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I want this to happen 4 times a year. So that's grouping it into 3s. So it's happening every 3 months.
Oh.
Okay. You're still going to use a 4 to represent quarterly, but it's happening every 3 months. Does that make sense?
Every 3 months, 4 times a year.
Yeah,
So transition
4 times a
is
year.
3 months.
It's 4 times a year, which is every 3 months.
Yes, right there.
Okay. A principal of $1,000 pays 10% annual interest, and the interest is compounded quarterly. So, what is my initial amount? 1,000. Okay, this is going to be 1 plus 0.10 divided by, if I'm doing it quarterly, my K value is a 4. Okay, do not get that confused. Just because quarterly is every 3 months, it's still happening 4 times a year. K represents how many times a year it's happening. So you would take this as 4 times whatever N value you would need. Okay, so here's your equation that you would use. So for part B, what are we plugging in for N? 1. Okay, go ahead and plug this in. Best part is, once you get this plugged in and get your answer for 1, recall the equation. Then put in a 5 instead of a 1. Recall the equation. Put in a 5.5 instead of the 1.
Hey, how about we burn those sheets?
How about we don't? Y'all like progress report, okay?
No, we don't. No, we don't. No, we don't.
My dad's already mad at me.
Your dad's already mad at you?
Okay,
I just had my 4th period score. He didn't even know 5th grade. I don't know why he doesn't know what's 5th grade.
Somebody asked me.
Why is your dad mad at you? Didn't you say, who said their dad was mad at them?
Oh,
He
yeah.
said, "Don't see."
Why is your dad mad at you? He's not bad grades.
No.
Don't look at mine, Miss
He's
Smith.
doing really well.
Don't look at like.
Don't look at mine, Miss Smith, for real.
I do. Oh, I'm
Miss Smith, do not look at mine, for real.
If you look at my 4th, it's because my.
Oh, I look at everybody's before I pass it on.
Well, mine,
Because I like to see what you're doing in other classes. You do realize I can look this up on the computer.
yeah, but
Come on. What we get after 1 year? $1,103.81. Okay. Make sure you put this in parentheses when you raise it, or else it's going to raise it to the 4th, and then that's going to take your answer times n. What do we get when we plug in 5?
11, 31, 41.
Did you do 4 times 5? When you raise it?
Nah, well,
1,638.62. And after 5.5 years, it should have went up. Because it happened 2 more times. It should have went up.
Oh, yeah, half a year.
$1,721.57. Okay. Question.
No, man.
Okay, the next one.
Nah.
Monthly compound interest. That happens every month. Okay? So, if it's monthly, how many times is it happening a year? 12. So, 2,000 times 1 plus, my interest rate is 0.15 divided by 12. And 12 times n goes up in here. They want every 2 years and every 4.75 years. Okay. So go ahead and get those.
Wait, what's the end value again?
How many years?
Oh.
That's why we don't fill it in, because it changes every 2 years, every 4.75 years. I don't like this, by the way.
If you see my foot, I have an excuse for that. But you didn't have enough daily grades in a week. Yeah, so I have a good excuse for that.
Okay? After 2 years, what does this look like? How much money's in my account? $2,694.70. Okay, and after 4.75 years, we're looking at what? $4,060.19. Okay, here's the last one, daily compound interest. It's happening every day. Okay, so let's look at what this looks like. 1,500 times 1 plus. We're doing 8%, so 0.08 divided by 365. No, we do not count the leap year when we do this.
It's my birthday.
That's your birthday?
Yeah, I'm a leap year baby.
That's awesome. So you're technically like what?
I'm 4.
You're such a youngin'. Alonzo, what's wrong with your fourth period?
You have enough daily grades, like in a week. I can
Higher
show
than
you.
mine.
Huh?
Oh, no, I was looking at quarter one.
You never.
I'm gonna be back up for lunch. I want to talk to you though about paint tonight.
Y'all not going paint?
I don't know. Okay, what amount did we get after 3 years? $1,906.82. After 8 years, $28.44.52. We do have a little bit left to do. We will wait till after lunch. It maybe take us 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, but we will wait till after lunch.